Today, we are reviewing the Warpstones add-on. This is created by Mythicus. This add-on is priced at 660 Minecraft coins. That's £3.29. It's roughly $4. There are a total of 15 different Warpstones players are able to use. Let's see how this compares to the Portals add-on. For anyone interested in this add-on, it's between this and Spark Portals. They're practically the exact same. Spark Portals, of course, uses portals, and this one uses Warpstones. I try to stay open-minded with every single add-on that I review, but I've never seen an add-on so confusing for absolutely no reason at all. Let me explain why. When joining a world with this add-on installed, you'll be given the Warpstone Guide, the Warpstone Wand, the Warpstone Core, Overworld Warpstone Crystal, and of course, a Warpstone. Now, you'd think it would be as simple as me placing down a Warpstone there and placing one here, then tapping on this and having to go straight to this one. No, it's overcomplicated, and you will need a Warpstone Wand in order to go from A to B. Now, it doesn't sound confusing, but wait until you start seeing the recipes and all the unnecessary stuff that you need in order to teleport from location A to B. It gets even worse when you go to a different dimension. Just like all the other add-ons we have reviewed, this comes with a Warpstone guidebook. Now, I don't think they do a very good job of explaining how this add-on works. It also does not include any of the crafting recipes. Now, I'm not going to criticize them too much there because I think players are lazy now, and it's really easy to go to a crafting table and type in warp and figure out how specific recipes work. What exactly are warpstones? Well, warpstones are blocks that you can craft that allow you to fast travel to other warpstones. Warpstones can be thousands of blocks away from each other, and you can get there instantly. They can be placed in any dimension. In multiplayer, this works with warpstones you do not own as well. To make a warpstone, you are going to need a warpstone core. This is the center item of all the warpstone recipes. Most of the warpstones will then use materials corresponding to what they look like. Crafting recipes can be viewed by clicking on a crafting table and turning on the recipe toggler. Every single warpstone will require this item. In order to craft it, here is the needed recipes. So you are going to need 3 diamonds, 2 gold ingots, and 4 copper. And you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then diamonds down the middle. And that's going to make this. And you are going to have to do this every single time. Here is the basic warpstone that you will start with. And here is the corresponding recipe. You need 6 regular stone blocks, 2 slabs, and a core. Core mostly goes in the middle for all of these recipes. Blocks go on the top and the slabs go in the middle. And the outcome is going to be this. Now, from my understanding, each and every single one of these are basically the exact same as the default warpstones. They just look a lot cooler. Let's check out all of the warpstones available. So we have the regular warpstone, a villager warpstone, a horse one. We have a warden one. We have a trident one. We have an ender crystal one. Now we have a problem. I'm not able to place down any more of these. And why is that? Well, when you join the world for the very first time, you'll only be able to place down 3. You have to unlock the next one using XP. Now, you have to unlock 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. So in order for me to place down the next one, I would have to right-click on this, go to Settings, and then go to Unlock. I've now unlocked another one. Unlocked another one. Unlocked another one. It's super expensive for no reason at all. So instead of it being convenient for players to check out, it becomes really expensive. And that's not even the most expensive thing about this. Let's just check out the rest of the designs. We have the captive one, a creeper one. Oh, I can't even place the creeper one down. You know why? Because we have to go ahead and unlock even more. So I'm going to have to spend all of these. It's a good job I've got like 5k of these. We'll just unlock all of these. So I think we might have them all at this point. So we'll place down the candle one, the allay, sandstone, and stone brick, we have the black stone, and then we also have the andesite, which I can't place down because we have to go ahead and unlock another one. So yeah, like they just become really expensive for no reason at all. Now, granted, a little bit of positive here. I do think the designs are pretty cool. To make yourself the villager warpstone, here is the recipe. You're going to need polished diorite and 2 totems and the core. That one's not too bad. The next one is the horse one. Also not too bad. Blocks of copper, horse armor, and the warpstone core. It makes sense. The next one we have is the warden one. In order to make this, you are going to need... There might be one more echo shard missing there. There's definitely something else missing there. Anyway, it's echo shards, amethysts, and then skulk catalysts. Not too bad. Next on our list is a trident one. Requires cut sandstone and chiseled core and tridents. I don't think that's too difficult as well. Ender crystals. You're going to need a dragon head. You're then going to need 2 end crystals and obsidian and a core. So things will start to get a little bit more expensive here. Captive requires you to kill a wither boss, make yourself 2 anvils, end crystals, and 4 of the cores. It gets worse, trust me. The creeper one, you need to get yourself a creeper head and gunpowder, and then a few stone blocks, not too difficult. Candle one, also not too complicated, relatively easy to make. Logs, stripped versions, candles, and core. Then we have the allay. This requires note blocks and pillared quartz. Not too difficult. Next is the sandstone. Again, requiring the sandstone-related blocks. This one is the end one. This requires end-related blocks. They're not too bad. Then we have the stone brick one. These ones are relatively easy. The blackstone one requires blackstone. And then we also have the andesite, which requires that. So they're not too bad. Some of them are a little bit expensive for no reason at all. So instead of being really convenient for players to use warpstones, you think that's bad? Let me explain the next part. How do we teleport? To teleport, you will need to access the warpstone menu. Each teleport you execute will consume warpstone crystals. These crystals are obtained through crafting. Please note that to teleport to different dimensions, you will need different types of warpstone crystals. There are overworld, nether, end, and universal warpstone crystals. A creative warpstone crystal, although expensive, can be crafted and allows you to fast travel to warpstones without consuming crystals. That means in order to do any kind of teleporting, like going to a different warpstone, you are going to need these crystals. Now, I showed you the one at the start of the video, which is the overworld crystal. This one right here is the nether warpstone crystal, and this is how you make it. Now, this one's not too difficult to obtain. I'll be honest, I think this is probably the easiest one. But basically, now that I have this, right, if I was to do a warpstone here and one inside the nether, this will be consumed. Otherwise, you cannot teleport between each dimension. Now, this one is going to be your end warpstone crystal. Here is the recipe. This one's also relatively easy to understand. As you guys can see, if you teleport between overworld to end, that will be consumed. And then we have this. Creative warpstone crystal requires you to use 2 blocks of netherite, a dragon egg. You then need to make yourself the crystal related blocks, which is basically just 9 of each one, from my understanding. Gonna have to kill yourself 2 of the withers and get yourself a universal one. Like, nobody in their right mind is going to be doing this. The recipes are completely just so expensive for no reason at all. There's no need to have this whole crystal system. There's no need for the complication of these crafting recipes. So I think the enjoyment has gone straight away. The fact that I can't just go up to one of these and tap on it, I have to also have this in my inventory to access it. It's just really, really complicated. Overly complicated for no reason at all. But let me just show you transferring between 2 different dimensions. So I've placed one inside of the nether. I'm going to right click on this. This is my warpstone 1. If we go to settings, you are able to change icons and also change names. I'm just going to do this as spawn location. You have to go to the bottom and hit submit. let me just show you guys some of the icons that we do have. So you can have this as spawn, house, castle, flag, X, skull, chest, cave, portal. So we'll do this as, I'm gonna do it as a house since it's spawned. The nether one, I'm gonna do this as a skull because it's dangerous inside of there. Also make sure you hit submit so you can see how these have changed. Now I'm gonna / game mode S here. I'm gonna get rid of this and this. If I tap on this and try to go to the nether, you can see we're not able to do this. We have to have one of these in order to go inside of here and teleport to a different dimension. And that will be consumed from my inventory. So if I tap on this and try and click on spawn, I actually can't go back to spawn because I don't have any more of the nether related crystals. Now the creative warpstone, like they said, very expensive. If you have this, you can go from dimension to dimension and this doesn't actually get consumed. For me personally, I would be picking spark portals over this just because of the complications this one actually comes with. And again, everyone can be changed in terms of the items. But instead of doing like each and every individual one, it opens it up for you to change every single one, which can be quite confusing because I don't know which one is number 12 or which one is number 10 or which one was the first one I placed down. I generally cannot remember. And if you're doing this over large distances, it's going to be so confusing. Obviously, you can go ahead and change these and unlock these. This will just give you a guide back. But if you do have a stick, for example, you can craft yourself a guidebook as well. Unfortunately for me, this add-on gets a thumbs down. I do not recommend it. I think Mythicus Studios had the right idea, but they definitely executed it in the completely wrong way. Let me know in the comments section which add-on we are checking out next.